Hello Storytime friends, I hope you're all doing great today. I have a lovely book to share with you. It's called Not Quite Narwhal by Jessie Sima, and this is a book about being different. And this is a book published by Simon Schuster, who've given us permission to share with you. Are you ready? Kelp was born in the ocean. Do you see Kelp? Here he is. He knew early on that he was different from the other narwhals. His tusk wasn't as long as everyone else's. He had different tastes in food. And he wasn't a very good swimmer. But his friends didn't seem to mind, so Kelp decided he wouldn't either. That is, until he was swept away by a strong current. Can you see him in the current? Here he is. He says, I wish I was a better swimmer. Kelp found himself at the surface, closer to land than he'd ever been before. High up on a cliff, he spotted a mysterious, sparkling creature. It looked so familiar. It looked like Kelp. Kelp swam towards land as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all, hoping that he could catch up with the creature that looked just like him. When he finally reached the shore, Kelp felt a little bit anxious. He'd never left the ocean. He was nervous about walking for the first time, but the land creatures made it look so easy. He was seeing the crab crawling along. But oh, it wasn't. He tried walking like the crab sideways. No. And then tried hopping like a frog. But eventually he got the hang of it. He followed the slow tortoise. Everything on land was strange and beautiful, but also kind of scary. Kelp began to think he might never find the creature that looked just like him. But just as he stumbled out of the forest, there were land narwhals. Actually, they were unicorns. And by the looks of it, said one of them, so are you. Kelp had never heard of unicorns before. They taught him all sorts of new things about his tusk. We call them horns, they said. Wow, said Kelp. And they introduced him to unicorn delicacies. Gave him a unicorn. And they showed him how to gallop. There was no doubt that Kelp was, in fact, a unicorn. He was having so much fun that he didn't want to leave. But then he remembered all of his friends under the sea. Kelp missed them terribly. So he said goodbye to the unicorns and returned to the ocean. Kelp swam towards home as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all. hoping that the narwhals would still like him now that he was a unicorn. When he finally arrived, Kelp had butterflies in his stomach. And there was a sign waiting for him. Can you see what it says? It says, "Welcome home." And they were saying, "Kelp, Kelp." Kelp took a deep breath and told his friends all the news. "It turns out I'm not a narwhal." "Of course you aren't," they said. And then Kelp said, "I'm a unicorn." "We all knew that," they said, and they took it quite well. Kelp was happy to be home, but now that he'd experienced life on land with the unicorns, he couldn't seem to forget them. Did he want to be a land narwhal with the unicorns? Or a sea unicorn with narwhals? Kelp couldn't decide. But then he realized that maybe, just maybe, he didn't have to choose. Can you see? They came to the shore and they were playing right by the shore all together. And that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed that. Goodbye, Storytime friends. Thank you for joining me.